I elected to have some surgery. I did not elect to have a staph and MRSA infection, which went undetected for a few days and knocked me literally on my ass. But I thought, okay, in 3 weeks, I'll be back. Boom, crushing it. And that was not the case. It was really, really scary. Tell me about what you picked up by osmosis about rest.
I don't think I was taught this, but I think just like the nature of my household was like, there is no such thing as rest. First of all, my mom always had the rule, you're not allowed to be mostly like in your bedroom or in bed during the day. Like once you're up for the day. There's no going back to bed. And even at night, like it wasn't even like go to bed early. It was sit on the couch until you're ready to get into bed to be sleepy enough to sleep. So I kind of had that. And yeah, I just think, and I think I adopted this myself too, like even in high school, was just because I used to work shifts at EAC like until 9 p.m. when I was like a senior, and then I would work out afterwards.
Oh, wow.
And I wouldn't go to bed till like 11 p.m., maybe midnight. And I was like in high school. I mean, granted, this is probably why I have such bad like cortisol stress issues. But I just think my idea of like, there's always something I could be doing. So why would I rest? Like rest is kind of like a waste of time, you know? And I know it's not, but like that's how I genuinely thought about it. And that not that it made you weak, but it was this way of showing that you're not showing up in some way. So that's I think what I've always thought about it. It's starting to change a little bit, but even now, like I feel I have a lot of guilt around rest and like shame. Like even if I'm like looking at my phone on TikTok, I'm like, you're resting or you're sitting down. Like at least be walking or at least be standing. Like be active somehow, you know? My mom that too. You've always got to be moving. If you're not moving, you're not doing it right. That's like her thing.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And you said, I don't know if I was taught it, but then as you went on to talk about it, you were taught it. Because what we see, it's not so much what we're told, it's what we see.
I know.
Right? And that's such important modeling.
Yeah. And I think my friends too, like, you know, when you're a kid, like you're in sports and stuff, like you're not supposed to be like resting, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your peers. Does that, do you feel like that
it's interesting,
similar to them? Or do you feel like you're similar to them in the way you think about what you were taught, learned?
I think I totally am similar. Like I surround myself with people who kind of have that same mindset. And it's interesting. And I don't like this with myself. I'm trying to change it. But I think I judge people like if they tell me they're like resting. Like if it's the middle of the day and it's like 1 p.m. and like let's say a friend is like, oh, I'm taking a nap. And I'm like, oh, that too. Never allowed to take naps growing up. Like past that stage. Naps are not a thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, you're taking a nap? Like your day's not done. Like kind of what are you doing? That sort of thing. And I don't like that, but I'm definitely judgmental of that. And like that's when I think of like guys, like if one time I was like talking to a guy and he told me he was like done with his day and it was like noon. I'm like, what do you mean? Get out of bed, like go do something, you know? So I don't think I have a good opinion or mindset around rest. I feel like you're similar, or you used to be.
I am very similar. And I don't know that I really changed much. I'd like to think so. So I grew up in this very much like you are what you do. Produce, prove, show, demonstrate, and like stay busy. And then in the summers, you know, I always had a summer job. It was a full-time job. I went to work with my dad when he went to work. I was 11, I think, the first summer I started working. We went to church first, 6:30 mass. We'd be in the office at 7.
Oh my God.
I'd go home with him for lunch. He always came home for lunch. And then I would go back to work with him, and then I would leave when he was done with his day. You know, I liked being praised for being productive.
Okay.
I liked the props I got for being useful. I liked making him happy, and I saw how happy he was when a project was done well. And so I geared a lot of what I did toward, I will make him happy by doing this well. And my mom, I did a lot with my mom too. I cleaned the house a lot for her whenever she had a migraine. I would just kick into high gear and start cleaning, organizing, dusting bookshelves, rearranging the pantry. I would even rearrange the furniture in the family room just to surprise her.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was very much over functioning. There's a whole podcast on this one of being parentified.
The thing is, though, like, I think about, like, especially as I'm entering this era of my life where I'm supposed to be, like, grinding and, like, building my future, whatever it is. I'm like, why would I teach myself to rest, though? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I should be utilizing that mindset to propel myself forward. And there's, like, this fear of, like, okay, if I teach myself that rest and recovery is important, am I then going to take that too far? Because, like I've told you before, I'm a very all or nothing person. It's hard for me to, like, have this middle ground. So if I teach myself rest and recovery, okay, I'm going to go the opposite end. And then here I am losing all this, like, drive, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Will you lose it is the question. Like, if I allow myself to rest, will I lose my ability to grind? Is what you're saying, really.
Yeah.
It's like it is the all or none. Yeah. Well, we've had this interesting month that prompted the idea for this conversation. First of all, I just want to call out that I think it's really fascinating that there are all these years between us and generations, and theoretically, your generation is sort of, and I've seen this, they're like, oh, you know, like sort of lazy, entitled, you don't want to work hard, overvalue themselves, right?
Yeah.
And you and I couldn't be more similar in how we think about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just think the generalizations are so useless.
Totally. I mean, I also think, like, in terms of my generation, yeah, that might be a majority of people, but I also think it's like there are also a majority of people that are the opposite, you know?
I don't know if it's a majority. I don't know what it is, but I do think there's an interesting conversation happening right now in the sort of wellness space around rest, importance of it, its value, what happens when we rest. I mean, certainly there's a whole bunch of stuff about sleep that has come online about, you know, really isn't good for us to sleep 4 hours.
Yeah. I'm, like, just coming to that. I'm, like, in that era of my life where I'm actually trying to get good sleep.
I see that for me, like, good sleep is like gateway for all the good things.
Yeah.
And the last month, my sleep has been really messed up. And so I've seen the toll it's taken. But anyway, let's pause with, and I just want to kind of set the stage for why we wanted to talk about this. So I elected to have some surgery, and I did not elect to have a staph and MRSA infection.
Oh my God.
Which went undetected for a few days and knocked me literally on my ass. God, I was so sick. And I mean, the recovery was challenging, but it was just derailed by this infection, and it took over my body, and I had to rest.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
forced to.
You got pneumonia.
Yes. And I didn't know for a while there too. I went a whole week without knowing. So, yeah.
And I was kind of coming out of the infection as you were going into the pneumonia. And so
it was very weirdly, like, synchronous.
Yeah,
like,
it was. And we were having all these conversations, and I was saying, you were like, so my big fear in having this surgery was I'm not going to be able to go to the gym for 3 weeks, and I'm going to lose all my gains. You know how I'm like, so it's so important to me, like the muscle I've built, my fitness level,
Totally.
The muscle definition, I certainly love. My capacity to lift really heavy. But I thought, okay, in 3 weeks, I'll be back, boom, crushing it. And that was not the case.
No. I also, like, I mean, you couldn't even get off the couch.
I could not get off the couch. I would get to the top of the stairs. I'd have to sit down. I was so winded and lightheaded, I thought I was going to pass out. It's been 30 years since I felt like this. And the last time I had cancer was really, really scary for me because it triggered all kinds of things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I hadn't thought about in a long time. That vulnerability, all that stuff.
Right. Well, staph infection is, like, intense.
It was intense.
Yeah, like, I like, you know, That's something you hear in the news. I don't think I've ever heard of like someone personally like
It's like
having
a
a
1
staph
or 2%
infection.
chance. And the antibiotics
Yeah.
they give you for it are, I mean, I hadn't taken an antibiotic in 10 years since I had like a piercing that got like infected, and I didn't want to take it out. So I took an antibiotic. I mean, my body was like wrecked by this thing.
I'm sure.
Like it was a bit of a fog. But then at the same time, you got pneumonia, and you were saying the same things.
I know. And
All
you
this
were
stuff.
really good about having feedback.
Well, talk about a little bit of what was
It
going
kind
through
of
your mind.
like, well, because again, like I'm in college, I got things to do, I got classes to go to. This was also like an intense time with the honors thesis, you know? There's just a lot on my mind. And also like the workouts, like that is a way for me to control my life. So if I'm
Say
not
more about
feeling
that. How do you mean
well,
control your life?
like my in a probably a sometimes toxic way, which at least I'm aware, the way that I eat and I move is like something I know I can always be in control of. So I use that to my advantage.
Yeah.
And I will like, if I miss a workout, I'll probably feel guilty about it. I'm working on it, but like that is kind of my mindset still around it. So the fact that I physically like, and I also, I'm sure you can relate. It's like I've never been not able to like at least move a little bit. Like a 5-minute walk, I was skipping classes every single day because a 5-minute walk to class was like exhausting.
Right.
And I was just like mad at myself that I couldn't move and that I couldn't breathe well and that I was coughing all the time. Like there was no sort of like, okay, my body's healed. There was no sort of like empathy or sympathy towards myself whatsoever. So I reached out to you and I was like, this like sucks. I need to do things. I need to pull up this text that you sent me because I
Okay.
literally like I still remember it. I mean, but you tell your perspective. I feel like you were the same. Like you were upset at yourself that you couldn't move and it's all you wanted to do.
Pissed off and angry,
Yeah.
regretting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you went through that whole should I have even done this? But
Yeah, but I had done it. There it was.
Okay, wait. I found it. It was a voice memo.
Can you play it?
I didn't save it, but I screenshotted the transcription.
Okay. You can read it.
You used to say, I used to think that if you couldn't do it at 100%, it wasn't worth doing it all. So here's my message for you today. Your body needs gentle movement. It'll help move all this inflammation and this lymph, all the stuff. And it'll help with your gut. It'll help you rebound, but anything more than gentle movement is just going to be too taxing because your body needs to emphasize the healing part. So you have no choice. You got to do the gentle stuff because that's what you need to do. And then when it's time to do the big stuff, you're going to crush it because that's who you are. And I think you're doing such a great job of being the best you can possibly be. And I remember I said that because it was the day I found out I had pneumonia. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be week 2 of me not working out. And I was like so upset. And you sent me that. And I was like, oh my God, wow. Like I took like a step back and I was like, you know what? I just got to accept it. So I did.